Man United 3, Burnley 1. A big win in the end in the context of the game. Really poor for the best part of 60, 65 minutes. Really wasn't good. Ollie made the change at half time as well because we weren't looking good. We was not looking good. But the types of goals that we did score, I'll call them Rick goals. You know, good
Goal
pass.
for sure.
The last goal especially. Yeah, the last goal especially, to be fair. And Mason Greenwood, yeah, he got a little bit of luck with the first one. No luck with the second one. No luck with the first one. A good performance from him. Slid in McTominay as well. You talk about making good decisions and stuff.
Yeah.
Great from him as well.
Yeah, and he obviously had a little bit of luck with the second goal, but great ball for McTominay. He was also heavily involved in the third goal. When I talk about good play, Flex, being infectious, I honestly believe this. He's playing next to Cavani, who gets the ball in space, in a position where the defenders have backed off him, where you would often see Marcus or Mason run at the defenders.
Yeah.
Right? And Cavani gives it. He just turns and gives it. That's what I want to see. And I believe it's because of that then Mason gets it and gives it. It's infectious because Mason received it in a position where you would often expect him to drift in and shoot. Do you know what I mean? So Cavani gives it Mason. Mason gives it to Bruno. And then Bruno to Van der Beek. Van der Beek to Cavani. My type of goal. I mean, obviously, they've got players up the pitch. Yeah. But we still have wasted chances like that. Many occasions by the player on the ball being too selfish. And that's a fantastic goal. And I loved it, that last goal.
Yeah, exactly. I know you talk about, basically because Cavani's there, he's basically teaching Mason the way to go. But that's one of the things that Ollie talks about. One of the things that anyone who, understands football is happy of why someone like Cavani's there, because you learn off him. He's infectious. He is infectious. And I feel like that was a game, I did want him to start. I remember saying midweek, it's good that we brought him off because we need him for this game. We need him for this game.
I was surprised he did start.
Yeah, but when you hear Ollie's comments at the beginning, how old Cavani is, he was saying that he hasn't played 3 games in a row for a long time. And look, Cavani's trying to look after himself, and he doesn't know whether he's going to come, whether he's going to stay. That's his right to do that. But after the first half went, Cavani, you've only got to play 45, mate. Get your training jacket off. You're in 100%. Because you could see.
It's okay when it goes well for you. And look, you can't knock it one little bit, because if you do it the other way, it might not have worked. But I would have started with him and hopefully get the job done. That's how I always look at it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. He's still hopefully only got to play for 45 minutes. The difference between the difference between starting and coming off the bench is if you start and it's not going quite so well, you might get an hour out of him or 70 minutes. You know what I mean? Once you do it for half time, you can only get 45 minutes out of him, can't you?
I see what you mean. When you start, you don't, because you don't.
You can still bring him off if you get the job done. But if it's not quite going as you want, you might not sub him straight away. You might get an hour off him or something. He might still make that difference in the second half. But look, once it works and you've won the match 3-1, it's a bit churlish, as I always say, to knock it. It's gone great. Ollie might well have had it in his mind. I'll have Cavani on the bench, and if it's not going well,
probably,
And I didn't expect it to go well. I said on a show I was on this morning, Flex. Sorry, not this morning. When the team came out, I didn't expect it to go well. It won't go well with Mason or Marcus at number 9. It will not go well. We won't play good football.
Yeah, especially against a team like Burnley as well, where the importance of holding up that ball and being able to release it quickly to the flanks, get yourself in the box. The importance for that simplicity. It's not really in their game. However, Marcus from the left, when he went back there today, he was involved in the first goal, set Mason up really well. Let's talk about that because, the little dummy from Bruno, the awareness, again, Bruno could have gone for glory, took a more difficult shot. He knows where Mason is. Brilliant for Marcus at the fullback all day. I mean, he sat, I think it was Tarkowski down with a little flip-flap, sat him down. That is what Marcus Rashford is good at. Getting at people consistently, and he was a threat today. Not perfect,
when he was on the right. When he was on, I mean, obviously he prefers it on the left because he can cut in to shoot from the left, and obviously he did make the goal with a ball across the box.
He did.
He also tried the ball across the near post with his left foot, which I was impressed with.
Exactly. Yeah,
he doesn't often play it with his left foot. But in the first half, he put 2 really dangerous balls in with his right foot from near the dead ball line.
Yeah.
And it made me think that's what I prefer. Now Cavani wasn't on in the first half. That's the problem. Do you know what I mean? But he put one in that Mason couldn't quite get on the end of. Do you remember that one?
Yeah. Mason should have scored that.
Yeah, and another one just before that, he flashed it across, and I think the defender just got a little touch on it.
Yeah. So on that though, that's why I'm saying it's important. I know you've been one of Marcus Rashford's biggest critics, but on a day like today, when he's doing the simple things well, like you would say, if Dan James was flashing them balls across, someone needs to be on the end of it. He's doing the simple things well as adding in that little bit of flair to sit a defender down on his ass, as well as using his left foot to cross, which got us the first goal immediately after half time. Well played, Marcus, man.
Yeah, he definitely did well today. Yeah, brilliant. But
He
not
did.
brilliant, but well. He did well. There was a few too many dodgy moments. There always is, but he certainly did plenty of good things.
Yeah, got to give him his props.
Offside.
I'm going to push you on it, Rick. You got to give him his props.
Offside too often, Flex.
Well.
It's not a difficult thing to get right. That it really isn't. He gets caught offside far too often.
Greenwood done it once as well today as well.
In fact, one of the balls that I've just mentioned that he flashed across the goal, they let play go on, but the commentator said I think he was offside there anyway. So I don't know if it would have counted if we were. I think the Mason one, when Mason was flying in, don't know if you would it.
Yeah,
I don't know if it went out for a goal kick anyway, so they didn't bother giving it. But the commentator seemed to think he was offside. He's offside too often for me.
Yeah, it's definitely a work in progress. But look, Marcus can frustrate me at the best of times. So can Mason. But it's good though. I think today what shows it is that when they play the right way, they're showing that they are capable. Do you know what I mean? That's what I do like. They're showing that they're growing. They're showing that they can have an influence in games. And they're starting to do that. Ollie, I want to talk about Ollie though, because actually he realised it wasn't going right. And one thing we do criticise Ollie with is waiting too long to make changes. It's almost like he should see the same game we see. But it's almost like he saw the same game we saw as fans and went, no. Cavani, get on now. Fred, off you go. Pogba, let's get the balance right. Let's get Marcus back on the left. Pogba, you come back. Because this is another thing I said, when you were saying how Paul Pogba was better, than Marcus on the left and he should play there more often. And my biggest thing about why Paul Pogba, for me, can't play left wing all the time, is for reasons like today, because he will vacate that left-hand side because he's a smart player and he's not a winger. He's not an out-and-out winger who's going to get to the byline, cross it with his left foot. He's not going to do that. He plays infield, inside left, as you call it. And what was happening is their right back or their right midfielder, because they're playing five, that channel, they were getting it in that channel a lot, just with ease and being able to whip it across.
Can I jump in? I say this every week nearly. You've got to get your best team out. So although it wasn't going well, and Pogba was on the left,
which is why the change needed to happen.
Yeah, but Cavani wasn't at 9 at that point. Last week Pogba was making chances for Cavani. You've not got the same player at number 9. All these little things all add up to how you play.
I agree. I agree.
Point, but I will stick with it that I prefer Pogba out there to Marcus, and I like the way, like that last goal. Yeah. Pogba plays more passes like that than Marcus does, and that's how I want the players to play.
Right, but that last goal, Pogba's in a central area. I
understand that. But there's more chance of that goal happening just because Pogba plays like that when he's on the left. Like he made the chance for Cavani last week, but it was disallowed.
Yeah, I agree that Paul Pogba. Like I said before the show, before the game on the show, I said Paul Pogba is a clever enough player because he's that good to impact the game from almost wherever. If you played him on the right, he's clever enough to work out how to impact the game. Same on the left, same as a deep line midfielder, which probably isn't his best position either. But his range of passing and his timing of when to go forward is good. But I just feel that in certain games, like you said, the 9 was
one thing we'll never know, Flex.
We'll
never know how that first half would have gone if Cavani would have started.
Do you know what I mean?
He's only got the players. He's only got the players to play with that he can play with. So I think Marcus and Mason switched quite a bit.
They did.
Marcus and Mason at number 9 is not the same as having Cavani at number 9.
100%.
Cavani might have played, but if Cavani would have, we will never know.
We won't know.
It doesn't matter. We might have been 2-0 up at half time had Cavani started and Pogba was on the left. Pogba might have made both the goals. We won't be having this conversation.
100%. I agree with you 1,000,000%. Cavani's our best striker. Has to play. There's his fitness and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is the change that Ollie made, it wasn't only just putting Cavani up front. He also realised that in midfield, we're not good there. We need to keep the ball there better and pass it forward better. So he's then gone, actually, Paul, You need to come in here. I need your quality alongside one of the defensive midfielders. This isn't a game where I need you running back to your own goal because Burnley are breaking on us and stuff. We're going to have the ball. So what I'm saying is, that's what I'm talking about, Ollie. It wasn't just about putting Cavani at 9 in that moment, because otherwise, you know what I mean? He was actually changing the way we were trying to play, because you got McTominay and Fred, which is a whole different proposition as you put Pogba in it. So I mean? Yeah, so that was what I was saying.
On his substitutions, again, it worked fine. It doesn't matter that he did it late, because it worked fine. But I'd have had Van der Beek on sooner. As much as he only came on with about 8 minutes to go.
Came on the 80th minute. Yeah.
And I don't think he even touched the ball before we scored, but it was 1-1 when he came on.
Won a foul,
you know It was 1-1 when he came on, and we won 3-1. You know
Donny effect. People, I see it on Twitter, Rick. People saying Donny effect.
Donny effect. Tell you what I want to say. Two things I want to mention, mate. Dead quickly.
Go for it, Rick. Go for it. Rick, this is interesting. Talk about it, Rick. Let's talk about this.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I don't think did we touch on this the other night when De Gea played? De Gea kicked the ball out twice the other night where he shouldn't have kicked it away. One
and he looked a bit awkward.
And he should have gathered it. And then he came rushing out and he booted one. It was outside his box, so he couldn't handle it. But there was no rush. There was nobody on him. And I could see on the screen, I could see Telles going, "What are you doing? Just control it and give it to me." So De Gea was a bit dodgy in a sort of similar respect. He was coming out rushing for things and booting things. Little bit similar, except they're on the floor. He's come out twice for high balls today that are, too far out of his box.
Way too eager. It looked today like it was
the keepers have done 2 really poor things each in the last 2 games.
But that can come from being unsettled.
I wonder if that's part of it. I don't know. I don't 100%. know. Maybe he wants to stick with one keeper for a bit.
Yeah, exactly. For me, what it looked like is that Henderson was like, yeah, it's Burnley. Like, I want to show, like, I can come for the ball. A lot of people say, I just feel better with Henderson in goal because he comes for the ball. Well, today, it was like, I'm going to make it known that I come for the ball. Well, no, let the defenders do their job, clear off. He also came for a clearance. Yes, he got on the end of it and cleared it, but it was miles out of the box when Lindelof had it covered. Lindelof had it covered, and Henderson just came running in from nowhere. I'm like, what are you doing there? You haven't got to be involved. The key to being a Man United keeper is to not be involved until you're called upon. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Correct.
I don't like. It feels like he was trying to make himself
to show what he can do.
And you've got the backing of Ollie, bro. You're technically number one right now. You've got the backing of a lot of the fans, if not all the fans. Just chill out. You don't have to be the hero here because it's Burnley. Do you know what I mean? On that, though, the goal we conceded, Harry Maguire absolutely bullied by Tarkowski there. Zonal mark, and we spoke about it time and time again when we do concede crap goals like that. That's not. I know we went on to do well, and Harry Maguire started playing some decent balls from that. He regained his composure, but your captain, your biggest header of the ball, £80 million, you want better there, don't you?
Yeah, I know he's a centre back, Tarkowski, but I looked him up. He's not especially. I know he's 6'2", but plenty of centre backs are 6'4" these days, aren't they? And maybe even tall, some of them. So he's not an especially tall centre back.
Yeah,
and he won that ball easily. The other thing that I wanted to mention 2 things. I think you'll like this one.
Go on.
It's a bit of a.
You should have played. Where was Matt?
It's a bit of a bombshell. This one.
Oh my god!
For the first time.
Oh my god.
For the first time since I can't remember when, months. Please. For the first time in months,
go on.
I'm actually hoping for City to lose. I've not even been looking at City. I'm at City are playing Villa on Wednesday.
Right, are you saying? What are you saying?
If City, look, it's one game. They've just lost one game to Leeds. It's one game. That's all I'm saying. One game.
What are you saying, Rick?
What I'm saying is, if City lose, we'll be 8 points behind them with a game in hand. That could be 5 points.
So, Rick, what are you saying?
That's all I'm saying. I'm saying nothing else. That's the bombshell. I'm leaving it there. Look, I'm deadly serious with that bit, Flex. I've not even been thinking about City. I've been looking over my shoulder. I've even looked at West Ham and Everton in the last couple of months. So they're not too far behind us. All that, obviously Spurs and Chelsea. I've always been working it out. Well, they've got a game in hand on us, and if they win that, they're only 8 behind us. I've been looking at all that. I'm not looking behind now. I'm looking up. And I know there ain't long to go, but look, even if Wednesday, look, I know City are capable of going there and winning 5-0. Of course they are. But it's one game. That's all I'm hoping for at the moment.
Rick, are you looking a little bit at the Chelsea game as well?
We'll be 8 points behind them with a game in hand.
Just leave it there.
Let's change the subjects.
I like that. Rick, I want to ask you this last thing, actually. What do you make of this European Super League?
I'm not happy with it, mate. I think there's too much greed in football, isn't there? There's too much greed. I'm not happy with it at all. I think the Champions League are going to announce, UEFA are going to announce what they're doing with the Champions League now, aren't they, during the week? They're going to, is it going to be, am I mixing the two up here? Is it going to be 10 teams in a group?
Apparently, UEFA, I think, the Champions League want to extend the amount of teams that can get in there as well. But they're also going to ban them from going in any other competitions.
Yeah, the only reason I think they want to do that is because obviously the more games there are, the more money they make, the more TV revenue. They're hoping it's like a little bit of a carrot to these teams who I think they can get 350 million euros, is it, for joining this other league?
Sad, man. It's really, really sad.
It's a disgrace.
I'm actually embarrassed. And the fact that we've signed up to it, I hope that the shit hits the fan like a ton of bricks and they backtrack. Even though they showed their true colours, because they've played their hand now. We know that they're money-grabbing bastards. But, excuse my French, but it really has pissed me off.
It goes for these five Premier League clubs interested or signed even, isn't there? Signed. And then
already.
And then City have also been invited, but I don't think they've signed yet, have they?
It's really bad. I really hope that the powers that be exercise whatever powers they have to stop this happening, because it's an absolute disgrace. And for smaller clubs who, work their asses off, they go through relegation, they go through playoff finals, they work their asses off. And for some of the other smaller clubs who kind of make it into Europe as well, want to go play against the best of the best. Are you telling me that if West Ham make it into the Champions League this year, they can't play against Real Madrid because Real Madrid have pissed off to play something, and they have to play Sociedad? No disrespect. Do you know what I mean? It's an absolute travesty. The inclusion and equality of the game, they're killing it for greed, and I think it's an absolute disgrace.
They're talking about, of which we'd be one of them, they're talking about 15 clubs being automatically in it every year, no relegation. And then the other 5 teams will be made up from teams that somehow already qualify from their leagues.
You know what I would say, Rick?
The likes of United and Liverpool, Real Madrid, Barcelona, they'd be in it every year.
It's a disgrace. You know what I'd say, Rick, if I was the Premier League? I'd say if you go and sign that, get out of the Premier League as well. Because remember, they're going to go and play this, but they're still going to be in the league.
Yes, of course. I think it'd take the play. Surely it can't be in addition to the Champions League. They'd just ditch the Champions League, wouldn't they?
Well, no, they're not going to be in the Champions League. Yeah, they won't be in the Champions League. They'll be in this Super Cup thing. I know this is a mad concept. I don't know how it works, but I'm saying to the Premier League, do you know what? Piss off. We'll open up. We'll open up spaces in the Championship and make 8 teams be able to go up. I don't know what, but do you know what I mean? People who deserve it to be who are
they're fighting for losing money, and it doesn't help the clubs in the Premier League then who are not going to play against United in the league.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Unbelievable.
I agree with you. I would say that if I was the Premier League.
Yeah, get out. You ain't getting no Premier League money. You ain't getting billions from this.
Just go and play with your European mates and just have whatever it is. Whatever it is, 20 games a season. And then once you get knocked out, you might get knocked out by February. And
then you got no games, mate. Then you got no games. Season over, mate. Go on holiday. Get a cigar out. You ain't coming back to the Premier League and use us and rinse us for money. Honestly, I'm ashamed to wear the badge today. It really has annoyed me. I really hope it doesn't happen. Anyway, Rick, who's your man of the match lastly?
Man of the match today.
Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood.
He was awful for an hour. I know he played well.
And then he wasn't awful.
He was terrible in the first hour.
Oh, Rick, give him a break.
He was terrible in the first hour.
Give him a break. So was everyone in the first hour. Who was good?
Greenwood. I'm just going through it.
From when we started playing good in the 60th minute.
I'll probably say Scott McTominay.
Oh, Rick, what?
Scott McTominay.
The man has spoken. That is Rick's opinion. Rick, I will see you.
We don't play till Sunday, do we, against Leeds?
Yeah.
First time we've had a midweek off all season, apparently.
That's nice, isn't it? I think we're the only team in all the leagues or whatever who haven't had a free week. Yeah.
All right. So we've got Leeds next Sunday, and as I've just spoken about, it's City and Villa on Wednesday night, and then they're in the League Cup final next week. So we'll be playing, and they won't be playing.
Yeah. So the pressure's on. Pressure could be on. All right, Rick. I'll see. We'll see you tomorrow, actually. For our show.
Speak to you tomorrow night.
All right, nice one, mate. Cheers.
Nice one, mate.